Where we are discussing about the Toto that grandfather paid 3 rupees for the Toto, and he shows that inside the pocket there is a tortoise also. Can he pay for the tortoise? Now, in vain did grandfather take Toto. Okay. Now, the ticket collector looked closely at the tortoise. Then, what the ticket collector does? Ticket collector looked toward the tortoise and said that no need to pay for a tortoise because it is not a dog, it is a tortoise. Now, when Toto was finally accepted by the grandmother, now from here, the scene of the Saranpur ended, and now the scene shifted to at the home. Now, grandfather tell about the Toto to the grandmother. Now, grandmother is ready to accept the Toto. When Toto was finally accepted by grandmother, he was given a comfortable home at the stable. Now, what is a stable? Where horses stays is known as stable, tabela. Okay. Now, they put tortoise into a stable where one animal is also stays, and what is the name of that animal? Donkey. Where he had for the campaigning. Campaigning means for his company there is one more animal, the family donkey. And who is that one? Donkey. Now, and his name is Nana. N-A-N-A, Nana. Okay. On Toto's first night in the stable, grandfather paid him a visit to see if he was comfortable. To his surprise, he found Nana without apparent cause. Now, at the first night, grandfather come and take a visit. He wants to look toward the Toto that he is comfortable or not. Then he sees that Nana didn't sleep, but who sleeps? Toto maybe. Okay, so without apparent cause, pulling at her halter and trying to keep her head as far as possible from the bundle of hay. Bundle of hay relates to our women who are having something into their heads. Okay. Now, halter. What is a halter? What is a halter, beta? The rope by which the donkey tied. Okay. And he do like this. He wants to stay away from the hay. That's why he haunches. No, sorry. That's why he keeps her head from the bundle of hay. Okay. He don't want to eat right now. That's why he is nodding. He is taking away his head from the food. Okay. Grandfather gave Nana a slap across her haunches. Haunches is of a man between the two legs. What comes? When we when we say to the some person that come, let's fight, then we do what? We slap on our thighs and say, come on. Okay, so this known as haunches in between the legs of a female or a man, of a human body. Okay, in between the knees. Okay, now she jerked back, dragging Toto with her. Jerked back. He gave a slap on her haunches and she jerked back. Donkey is a female now, and she just slightly back and she dragged Toto with her. Okay. And he had fastened on to her long ears with her sharpened little teeth. Now, she dragged the Toto, and now what Toto did? He cutted his ears by his teeth. Okay, he bit it. Now, Toto and Nana never become friends. Now, they never become friends. A great treat for Toto during cold winter evening. Now, they are telling us about how Toto lives. Toto do a lot of the activities with the water, and what is a special for the Toto is warm water. In the cold, what you don't want to like to bath, and if you want to bath, then you want bath continuously for maybe for an half an hour, because a lot of the warm water is there and you like to have a water on your body, right? That's why. And Toto also likes warm water into the cold, because outside the warm water he feels cold. That's why he want to stay into the water. But if there is a water into a bowl, then for some time it is warm. But after 15 minutes, after half an hour, it becomes cold. You know why? Because from the bottom the heat is not coming. Okay. So because of the weather, it get cold. Okay. The great treat of Toto during cold water evening was a large bowl of warm water given him by grandmother for his bath. He would cunningly test. Okay, now what you do when the water, a bucket filled with the warm water, you put your finger into the water and then think that it is okay for my body or not. Only then you get into a bath, na? Right? That cunning thing done by the Toto also, he put his hand and checked the temperature, then gradually step into the bath. First 1 foot and then another. First he put his 1 feet and then the another, until he was not into the water up to his neck. Where the water lies? Up to his neck. Okay. One comfortable, he would take the soap in his hand or feet and rub himself all over. Now, what he did? He uses the soap also on his feet and the hands. Okay. When the water became cold, he would get out and run as quickly as he could to the kitchen fire. Now, what will happen? I told you that water become cold after some time, and Toto ran toward kitchen. Rushes me, ran toward the kitchen, and he wants to dry himself and he wants more heat, because if the body is wet, we get more cold in the winter. Okay, and in the summer we feel comfortable. Okay, because of the heat outside. So what happened? He rushes toward the kitchen because he want to dry himself, because he want to get more heat from the kitchen. If anyone laughed at him during this performance, and if anyone sees he rushes toward the kitchen and start laughing, then what Toto did? And he would refuse to go on with his Toto feeling would be hurt, and Toto's feeling will be hurt if somebody looks toward him and start laughing. And he would refuse to go on with his bath. Next day, maybe he refused not to take a bath. Okay. One day, Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself. One incident is also mentioned here into the text, that there is a bowl and the heat is from the bottom, coming from the bottom. Why that particular bowl is there on uh, the gas stove? Why? Grandmother put that bowl on the gas stove just for making a tea. And what Toto thinks? Toto put his finger into it, checked the temperature, and he think it is okay for my bath. So let it inside into the bowl and have fun into the water. But what happened? After some time, because of the heat from the bottom, the water get warm and he jumped from the from the bowl and he feel cold, then go into the water again, and when the water temperature become more hot, he is unable to come out of the bowl. Then what happened? Grandmother came at a right time and he rescued from the completely boiling. Okay, so half boiled. Now, one day Toto nearly succeeded in boiling himself alive. You know about the alive, I think. A large kitchen kettle had been left on the fire. A large kitchen kettle. The kettle is there, not a bowl. Firstly, the bowl, now the kettle had been left on the fire to boil for tea, and Toto, finding himself with nothing better to do, decide to remove the lid. Finding the water just warm enough for a bath, he got it with his head sticking out from the open kettle. This was just fine for a while until the water began to boil. Now, what happened? Toto then raised himself a little, but finding it cold outside, sat down again. Now, he came out and then he feel cold. He go inside the water again. He continued hopping up. Hopping up means jumping. And down for some time until grandmother arrived and holded him half boiled. Holded him means here rescued him from from full boiled, because right now he is half boiled out of the kettle. Next paragraph. If there is a part of the brain specially devoted to mischief. Okay. What Toto did always did the mischievous things. Right. Toto is characteristics is of mischievous habits. That's why whenever he get a time, he did the mischievous things, naughty things. That part was largely developed in Toto, and this is in a large amount into his body, into his genes. Okay. He was always tearing. He was always tearing things to pieces. And he always torn the things into the pieces. Whenever one of my aunt came near him. Okay, one more incident they are telling about. What kind of incident they are telling about? They are saying that one aunt came into the house and he pulled the dupatta of that aunt, and from somewhere he torn that. Okay, now came near him, he made every effort to get hold of her dress and tear the hole in it. And he did a hole into his dupatta. Two incidents. First, half boiled. Second, with the aunt. Okay. He wanted to torn his dress. One day, at haunch time, a large dish of pulao. Now, the third incident. This is the last one incident. At the lunchtime, the grandmother made pulao. Okay. And maybe Toto liked pulao so much. Stood in the center of the dining table, we entered the room to find Toto stuffing himself with rice. And The rice is on the dining table, and Toto take the rice, put his lid aside, and start eating the rice. And maybe a lot of the rice is on him. Okay, and then the grandmother called. My grandmother screamed. Scream means shouted on the Toto. And Toto threw a plate at her. And in in reply, Toto threw a plate on the grandmother. One of my aunt rushes forward, and aunt rushes forward means ran toward the Toto and receive a glass of water in the face, and take a glass of water and pour it on the face of Toto. When grandfather arrived, Toto picked up the dish of pulao. And when grandfather want to reach toward the pulao, want to take away a pulao from the Toto, he ran away and made his exit through a window. He ran away from the window. We found him in the branches of the jackfruit tree, and there's a tree outside. The name of that tree is jackfruit tree. The dish still in his arm, and he is having that bowl into his arm, and he is still eating while sitting on the branch of a tree. He remained there all afternoon, and all afternoon he is eating that pulao, eating slowly through the rice, determined on finishing every grain. He want to finish even a single grain of the rice. Okay. And then, in order to spite grandmother who had screamed at him, in order to annoy, here annoy means in order to annoy to the grandmother, because she shouted on the Toto, na? That's why. He threw the dish down from the tree, and he threw the dish downwards. That's why the dish become torn into the pieces. Okay. And shattered with delight when it broke into the 100 pieces. Into the 100 pieces, that bowl break, and he start laughing because he feel comfortable, just broken into the things. Okay, now obviously Toto was not the sort of pet we could keep for a long. Now they realize that Toto is not that kind of pet that they can put it into the home. Why? Because his nature is of doing a lot of the things into pieces. Okay, he tore the dishes, he tore that coat, he tore the bricks, plaster, he tore each and everything. He tore the dupatta of the auntie's dress of the aunt, right? Even grandfather realized that. Even the grandfather also realized this thing, that it is not a good thing to keep a monkey into our house. We were not well to do. Now, nothing to do with it, well to do, nothing to do with it, and could not afford the frequent loss of dishes, clothes, curtains, and wallpaper. They don't want to afford more things to be broken into the pieces. Which kind of things? Dishes, clothes, curtains, and the wallpaper. So grandfather found the Tonga driver and sold Toto back to him for only 3 rupees. And he sold back to the Toto to the Tonga driver in 3 rupees. He buys it at 5 rupees. He paid at the collector 3 rupees, total 8 rupees, and he get only 3 rupees. Loss of the 5 rupees because of the Toto, and lot of the things destroyed by the Toto, broken by the Toto only. Yes, beta, what is the meaning of? Frequent loss, instant loss of the things. Okay, they can't afford the more loss of the things. Okay, that's it about the chapter. If any query, then comment below. Thank you.